Welcome back to In Rhythm Sports Podcast. Graham and I are back from our COVID furlough break. And today we are going to discuss the NBA All-Star game that just happened where Team LeBron smashed and dominated Team KD when KD wasn't there. We're going to talk about Blake Griffin to the Nets, Dakota Prescott's new signing with the new deal with the Cowboys, more free agency in the NFL, and March Madness is about a week away, so we're going to get into that too. Let's go. So in old news, as my partner just said, we're going to first bring up the NBA All-Star game. Graham, how'd you like that game?
I think, luckily, Steph Curry and Dame Dalla made it interesting because it was very lopsided when you got Kevin Durant out and Joel Embiid out, two of the best players in the league not playing. You kind of had the sense that it wasn't going to be a competitive game, but I think they made the most of it. It wasn't, amazing to watch. It was, I don't know, it was kind of eh. The whole night was eh. There wasn't really something that popped out. And the 3-point contest was okay. The skills challenge was the dunk contest. That was horrible.
Dunk contest was putrid.
So honestly, I think the All-Star game, in comparison to those, was pretty exciting and pretty fun to watch. So yeah.
I just like the back and forth between Dame and Steph. It was like, oh, you can shoot it 50 feet away? So can I. And then they were just going back and forth. That was definitely my takeaway from the game.
That's ridiculous. It wasn't even like they were missing. It was Dame hit it, Curry next possession hits it, I can do this. Those two players are ridiculous.
Do you think are they 1 and 2 point guard in the league by far? Is there anyone close to them?
No, I think, well, James Harden, because he's playing point guard this year, he's right with them, but he's a natural shooting guard. So yeah, if you want to talk about point guard position, it's them two in their tier of their own. Yeah.
Okay, so they're just crazy. They're stupid. And then Giannis, do you want to get into how he went 16 for 16 from the field with 35 points? But he's a fraudulent superstar, right?
He is. I stand by that. I don't think he should have won MVP. I don't.
Who would you have given MVP
I would have given it to Dame or Curry. I think Dame had a little stronger case. He had 32 points. He hit the game winner, and he was lighting it up. He was making it fun to watch. Giannis chucked up 2 threes that banked in. He didn't even mean to do that, and the rest was just little dunks. I mean, I get it. He was perfect first person to do that. But the skill, there was no difficulty. I don't know. It just wasn't fun to watch. Damian Lillard he hit the game winner, even though it wasn't clutch or anything, and he was making it fun to watch. I just think he should have got MVP, but good for Giannis, All-Star MVP.
You know what, Graham? I agree with you.
Thank you.
And what was I gonna get into? Do you think it was disrespectful for Team LeBron to not let Team KD win any of the quarters, so they got no money to their charity?
Well, I wouldn't say it's disrespectful towards Team KD because Team LeBron also has their charities that they're going for, so they want to put a little money in their pockets. Honestly, in the third quarter, I think it was, Team KD came out and they were trying really hard. That was led by Kyrie. He was full court pressing. He was doing everything, and then they couldn't even win the quarter. Team LeBron just naturally they weren't even pressing. They just naturally were scoring more. So I mean, I don't think you really could have done anything about that.
Just a mismatch. They had Simmons out too for Team KD too. So that's another defensive guy in the fourth quarter that maybe they could have won. Wait, how does that even work in the fourth quarter? It was the first 24 points, right?
So the fourth quarter, it's whoever's winning. You add 24 points to that score, and that's the score. That's the target score.
So then they were done anyway.
So they were already down 20, and then they had to
So they had to score 48 or.
They had to outscore them by 40 something. It wasn't in the realm of possibilities.
So that was a pretty good All-Star game. They did a good job, I think, of having the virtual fans, and they tried to make it the best out of it. The dunk contest, like we said, was pretty not great.
It's just hard to engage a regular fan when you have a G League player in Cassius Stanley,
Obi Toppin,
who's and then you have that Simons dude. He comes off the bench for the Blazers. I don't know. It's just it's hard to engage. And then he wins the dunk contest by not even, his goal was to kiss the rim, and he didn't even kiss it. It was a little air kiss. Come on now.
We need to reintroduce LeBron James Russell Westbrook. We need stars in the league to be in the dunk contest again.
It's gonna be hard to revive the dunk contest because the next generation high flyers like John Morant and Zion Williamson have both already like stated that they really can't see themselves doing it. So it's gonna be hard to like get that next generation going. Maybe maybe Bronny James comes into the league, starts going crazy. I don't know.
Maybe LaMelo Ball might want to be in the dunk contest one time.
I don't think he's much of a dunker, but he'll bring all the eyes. So maybe do a little windmill and he gets the win.
Yeah, all you really need in the dunk contest is big names because then people are gonna be glued to the screen.
Yeah, because when you had like Nate Robinson going crazy for 3 years in a row, going against Dwight Howard, who was Superman, like that's when it was fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
So
you kind of set the villain as Dwight Howard because he was like the big. It was like the big guy versus little guy.
David versus Goliath.
Yeah, David versus Goliath. That's what I was trying to get at.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be hard to like get the dunk because it's also like you have to be creative. So many dunks have already been done. You have to be creative, and I don't know. They were Obi Toppin. He did a windmill jumping over his dad, and he didn't even clear him. Like he used his shoulder to get over him. Like they just weren't good dunks.
Nah, you can't put someone under you and then say, I'm going to go over them and then touch them. That should be like negative points.
Yeah, like I can do that. I can go on their shoulders and leap over someone. Like, it's going to be hard. And then the skills challenge is it's so boring.
They need to cancel that.
Either cancel it or change it up. It's been the same thing. You dribble, make a pass, lay up a three-pointer. It's been the same format for like when they did the teams and they had like the half-court shot at the end. That was actually fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like Chris Bosh draining a half-court shot. That was fun to watch.
What if they just implemented the three-point challenge? I mean, the three-point contest and the dunk contest into the skills contest. So you had to like make a certain amount of threes. Like it'd be longer, but like the bounce pass, forward pass.
It's an interesting idea. I think the three-point contest is good at holding its own. I think it is still like is exciting enough. But something has to be done with the dunk contest and the skills challenge. Like it needs to be revamped. Something.
I stand for eradicating the skills challenge. It's stupid.
I mean, there's been like, not like from the NBA, like fan rumors, like, hey, have a King of the Court contest, have a one-on-one tournament. Not even with the superstars, just with like a bench player, like Jordan Clarkson. He's nasty. Get him in there and have him going against have him going against my boy Rui. Come on.
Like someone like Jamal Crawford too.
Yeah, just have like the street ball-esque players get in there, put on a show one-on-one. The best players in the world just going one-on-one. Everyone wants to see that.
Get like Kevin Hart as the announcer, like right on the court.
Exactly. Like that can be something that's good. I don't know. There's just a lot. There's a lot. They can do a lot. I think they should like try and like mix it up at least.
I agree. I think it would also be cool if they showcased the mascots during the All-Star game.
Okay, like that. Like what? Just have them just going crazy? Like
what if they did like a 5-on-5 for like 2 minutes with just the mascots?
Okay, maybe it's like the mascot versus the kids. I think the NFL did that before.
Something like that. The mascots versus the kids.
Yeah, you could bring in some kids and just like have them play. I could see something like that being funny.
That'd be funny. It'd be cute. Like if a mascot accidentally tackled a kid and then they were like boo.
I can see that. Yeah, they just need to work on their entertainment because right now it's kind of stale. Anything to bring in more entertainment value, I think, could be successful.
Right now the entertainment's stagnant and it's just gonna keep going down.
Exactly.
If they don't change it up, they gotta switch up. Even if it's bad, at least show effort in doing something different.
Exactly. Show effort. We just want some effort. Try and go a little crazy.
We just want to see that you care.
Good point.
So, do you want to go to the next topic now, Graham? The Brooklyn Nets, probably the best team, even if they did not sign this man. But now the team with KD, James Harden, and Kyrie Irving signed up Blake Griffin to shore up that defense, probably. And what do you think about Blake Griffin being on the Brooklyn Nets, who are in the top of the East right now?
Well, regardless of what type of player like he is at this stage of his career, it's a good addition for the bench. But if he is the player that he's been in Detroit, it's not like some crazy like move that will like push them over the edge. He's like a 12-5 guy now who doesn't really attack the rim. He's more like an outside shot guy. So if he plays like he did in Detroit, then yeah, I don't think it really like makes a huge difference. I think it doesn't push them like as the only team that's like a contender.
Mhm.
But if he was trying to trick everyone and just kind of cruising his way through Detroit until he got bought out to get in a position like this, and then he comes out and he's attacking the rim again and he's dunking because he hasn't dunked in 2 years. If he starts going crazy again, I don't know that they're not gonna be able to be beaten, and I'm gonna have some words for Blake Griffin.
Even if they just have a little bit of defense with him, though, that's all they really need. But him going crazy, that'd be something special.
Yeah, I do think he's on his decline. I think he's had
Mhm.
some injuries that it really he's not really athletic as he was anymore. So I don't think it's like some crazy move, but it's still a great player who's a veteran. He knows he's been in the playoffs before, so it's a good addition regardless.
So a lot of the basketball fans are saying it's over now. Do you think that's a little bit overblown? Do you think he's getting a little bit too hyped right now?
Yeah, I think that's overblown. I think a few teams in the Western Conference can still compete. I mean, I always have the Lakers and the Clippers.
Mm.
Honestly, it depends what type of Nuggets team we see. But Jokic and Jamal Murray for the last 2 years have both stepped it up in the playoffs. And people say bubble Murray. They forget that 2 years ago Jamal Murray went crazy in the playoffs as like a 20-year-old. Like he's known for stepping up in the playoffs. So they can always go on a run. I don't know if they could beat the veterans of the Nets, but I think they can obviously compete. And in the East Coast, I really do think that the Sixers can still compete with this Nets team. So I don't think the Nets are by themselves in any manner.
I agree, and I think Joel Embiid. Did you see that he eclipsed LeBron James for the MVP lead right now?
Yeah,
With the
I
half-
mean, I don't know what that metric is that they make that list, but I'm glad that Embiid got to the top because he's dominating the league. There's no one really putting up the same stats and wins besides anyone on the Nets that can really match him
Mhm.
in the MVP rankings.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I don't really. I get it because LeBron's doing well and AD's not doing as good as he could be, so that's why LeBron's kind of up on the rankings. But I don't like his. I was looking at the stat like his per like player rating efficiency. It's like 24th. It's like 12th in the league. Like, don't you think that? And Joel was like second. What happened to like the first guy? Like, where's Kawhi at? Why is he not in the
Well,
MVP race or Paul George? Why
you-
are they like below LeBron? I
you're
don't
asking
get
the
it.
wrong guy because I don't care about any single advanced stat. I just want the eye test. So LeBron, I think he is playing like an MVP candidate this year. I think he's putting up 25, 8, and 8, which is really solid. He's also playing really good defense this year, surprisingly. And I think the one thing that's keeping him in the list is his durability. He has not missed a game except for one rest game before the All Star break. I think that's what's keeping him in because everyone else has been missing games. He's the guy. He's playing in. But yeah, I don't know who the most efficient player in the league is.
I think it's Kawhi.
It's Kawhi.
Hmm.
Honestly, I think the Clippers are having a little underwhelming of a season right now, which is probably why his name isn't being brought up as much. But if they can go on a good streak, his name will definitely be brought up. I mean, but yeah, I think Embiid is kind of in his own tier right now when it comes to MVP.
And people are kind of hating on Giannis. Obviously, he's a two-time straight MVP, but people are saying his stats aren't as good as they have been. But they're literally, I guess it's because their record partially, they're not as good as they have been in the past couple of years. But he's still averaging 29, 11, and like 10. So why isn't he up there too? I just don't get. I feel like his numbers are better than LeBron's numbers.
Yeah, so I think that like I don't like Giannis in any means, but I think he is getting a little shafted because he's won 2 times in a row. So it's hard to win 3 MVPs in a row, and also he's faded away in the playoffs 2 years in a row. So it's hard for the people to look at him as like a regular season guy when they know in the playoffs he's faded away in the past. So it kind of I don't know. It kind of brings the value of his points and rebounds down when you know that they don't always translate in the playoffs. Even though the playoffs has nothing to do with MVP, it's in the back of people's minds.
No, yeah, I get that. Just like how you said, Jamal Murray in the postseason, people know he's gonna probably increase, but like Giannis is kind of deducting, and like it kind of gives a bad vibe towards Giannis.
Yeah, so
So, yeah,
that's
I
definitely
think
the thing
that's a
that's
great
hurting his
point.
case.
Hmm. And how do you think the Nets, Bucks, Sixers, and Knicks feel? I saw this thing yesterday, or a couple of days ago. It's like in 2016, they were the worst 4 teams in the NBA in the Eastern Conference. They trusted the process, as Joel Embiid token, and now they're all playoff teams right now. What do you think about the turnover in the NBA that's happened over this past couple of years? The East has gotten a little better. The West has kind of stayed the same, but teams have gone up and down. What do you think about that, Graham?
I think it's refreshing to see, especially because in the East, LeBron was on the Cavs and he kind of ran that. So, the Cavs are kind of falling out of the picture. They do have a good future there. They have some good young players, but it's good to see, especially the Nets. And, all of the Nets' success, I'm sorry, but it has to go to my boy D'Lo. D'Angelo Russell started the Nets the come up. I don't care what anyone says, and he's the reason that they got Kevin Durant. So that's all I'm saying. I think D'Lo's the reason that the Nets are on the come up, and I think he deserves more credit from that fan base. In the future when the Nets eventually go on their little championship run. And for the Knicks, it's always good to see the Knicks, winning. Madison Square Garden, getting some fans coming in. They're loud fans, so it's always good to see.
Right. I mean, good for those teams. It's good. Every team should have a bite at the apple every once in a while.
I totally agree, Will. Totally agree.
Thanks, Graham. Now, we talked about the NBA. Let's get into Dakota Prescott and the big moves that have been happening in NFL free agency. Dak got signed for a 4-year deal, $160 million, 126 of that guaranteed. Graham, do you think the Cowboys made the right move, and do you think Dak is the future even past that four-year deal in Dallas?
Well, it's a lot of money. I'll tell you that. It's a lot of money for Dak Prescott, and I mean, he hasn't shown he can win, so it's hard evaluating that. Because in the playoffs, they were the one seed that one year that they weren't really good, and then they lost in the playoffs early. And then he was having good stats last year, but it wasn't translating to wins at all. So I mean, but when you have a player of that caliber, you kind of have to lock him down because you can't afford to take a risk in the draft every single time. So when you find your guy, you kind of have to lock him down. So I see why they did it. It's just a lot of money, but hopefully it pays off for him.
No, yeah, I agree. And I think the thing about it is like you said, if you look around the league, Dak, you know what he's going to give you. These rookie quarterbacks, they have good prospect, but you don't know if they're ever going to be what Dak Prescott is. And then if you look around in the free agency market, there's nobody this year that's equivalent to Dak unless you go for the Deshaun Watson, who's probably better than him. But I think that I think it's just the way the NFL is going. The next quarterback up is going to be the highest paid quarterback, which is kind of stupid because if you want to win, you should probably take a pay cut like Brady does, and then you got more pieces around you. But another thing that kind of grinds my gears about Dak is everyone would say his stats were that great last year in his 5 games that he played. But if you looked at the scores in those games, they were always down by 20, and they had to catch up, and then the games got close to the end. So that shows he's good at coming back. But his stats were definitely padded by defenses going into prevent defense. And then his stats would obviously, I had him for fantasy football in one league, and he'd have 15 to 20 points in the third quarter, which is a good game. But then he'd go for 20 more fantasy points in the fourth quarter. It's that's good. I love that for a fantasy owner, but the trend shows that you're just a good come from behind quarterback that stacks up the yards and passing touchdowns in the late game.
Yeah, I totally agree. I like watching the Cowboys when Dak was playing. They were always down early, and there was always them fighting back, which is why his stats were so good. Well, it means that he's capable of putting up those stats, but then he needs to do them earlier, which if he can figure out how to flip that switch, not just him, but the Cowboys as a whole, then yeah, the move will pay off. But it's definitely a big risk because that's a lot of money.
And he has great weapons in Dallas. It's a great market, so it's a good place to be. They need to work. Van Der Esch was hurt, I'm pretty sure, in that beginning part of the season. Their defense did get better throughout the year, and then they were just a mess in quarterback when Dak got out. So Dallas has potential to be good, but if they don't win one in the next 4 years, Jerry World's not going to be happy.
Yeah, if they don't win in the next 4 years, barring they don't lose any key players, I don't know if he's gonna get re-signed, or I don't know if he's gonna make that money at next contract.
It's definitely gonna. He should win. He should win. The NFC East is garbage.
Exactly, he's in the position to win. So if he can't pull that off,
he's got what Brady had in the AFC East, where you have a weak division. You should go 6-0 in your division at least next year because the football team is going to be better, but they're still not going to be a great.
They don't
offense.
have a quarterback right now.
They're not going to be a good offense. So they should go 6-0 next year in the division, and then they should They were bad this year, so they're gonna have they're gonna have 2 easier games on their schedule. I'm not sure who they're playing. That
Yep.
Never mind. I don't know who
Yep.
they're playing,
I
but I don't
agree.
know what AFC team they're playing. But they should win at least 12 games next year with the talent they have.
100%. I totally agree. That should be their floor. I think 11 wins should be their floor. Anything less than that's a failure.
Exactly. Just gotta win 6 games out of your division. That's not hard. They're a good team.
Exactly. They
They gotta
have all the
stop.
pieces.
Yeah, people bust on Jerry Jones, but he puts a good like. If you look at their roster, it's a top 5 roster in the league every single year.
Yeah, they just are the only team that can make that not work. It's funny to watch from the outside, but I'm hoping they figure it out.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping to because I don't like the Eagles in particularly too much. So if the Cowboys were to win a Super Bowl, I really would have no hard feelings against that.
Hey man, they got Jalen Hurts. Don't
Oh
hate
yeah,
on the Eagles.
the future Hall of Famer. Yeah, yeah. WIP, the Eagles radio was hyping him up at the end of the season, and like I said before on the show, he's a bridge quarterback. So he's not going to be on the team in 3 years. I say that now.
Yeah, we're coming back to that statement. We're gonna see what's happening, Eagles fans.
We'll see. In other news in the free agency for the NFL, the Super Bowl champs franchise tagged Chris Godwin. They're keeping the contingency at wide receiver together for at least one more year. And they signed Levante David for 2 years, $25 million. What do you think about those 2 moves? Do you think those are the moves that the Bucs need to make to be Super Bowl contenders again next year?
I think retaining Levante David was a lot more important than Chris Godwin. I'm glad they kept Chris Godwin though because he is a good player and he's like consistent player. So you kind of need that in the locker room and on the field. You need someone that you know you can rely on, and it helps for Brady too. You know when you have more weapons around him, he's only gonna put up better numbers and do better. But I think keeping that defense intact is way more important. So it's good that they re-signed him.
Definitely. The defense was the reason why they won the Super Bowl. Obviously, both sides of the ball were clicking, but that defense was holding teams down.
Mm-hmm.
What other news have you really been interested in the NFL recently?
Well, personally, my Panthers, we re-signed our offensive lineman Taylor Moden, and he's a dog for us. And I'm really happy that we got him on the. We got him. Actually, we didn't re-sign him. My bad. We franchise tagged him, but I'm still happy that we got to keep him for one more year, and hopefully we can reach an extension because he's a key part of our offensive line, and that's something that we really need to build on. And also, Christian McCaffrey, he restructured his contract, maybe opening up some money for Deshaun Watson, but that's for a different discussion.
What do you think about? I don't think we talked about this yet because we were on a furlough. We didn't get paid, so we weren't going to have a show. We don't actually get paid, but what do you think about J.J. Watt going to the Cardinals? I thought he was going to go to Pittsburgh. That just logically made sense to me, play with Derek and T.J., but he went to Arizona. Now he's on the same line with Chandler Jones. He's got himself, and he's got Buda Baker, Patrick Peterson. They have a squad on defense in Arizona. Do you think Midget Man and the defense and Kyler Murray, Midget Man and the defense can actually do something this year coming up?
Yeah, I think J.J. Watt kind of completes their team. They were already good last year. I don't think their record was as good as they wanted it to be, but
8-8, not good.
I think they're a playoff team now. And man, Russell Wilson in that division, he probably wasn't any happier seeing J.J. Watt join. But no, I think the Cardinals will be pretty good. I didn't expect J.J. Watt to go there. Yeah, like you, I thought he was gonna go to the Steelers. So this was a surprise to me, and I'm sure a lot of people.
I kind of see the Cardinals in a similar position to the Bucs, like last year, how they were at 7-9 and they kind of just needed that one piece. I kind of feel like the Cardinals could really go off this year. I mean, literally the offense they have good weapons too. Just throw it up the D-Hop all the time.
Honestly,
it's gonna work.
But man, that whole division is gonna be competitive.
I
Cardinals.
know you got the Rams with Stafford now. They want to win the Super Bowl.
A healthy 49ers defense.
Cardinals want to win the Super Bowl. Niners want to win the Super Bowl.
And then the Seahawks,
Seattle
if they got Russell Wilson still, that's a competitive division right there. Oh my God.
I could see any 4 of those teams being the 1 seed in the West next year.
So can I. And man, the Seahawks better hold on to Wilson because if they don't, they're gonna be losing every division game.
They could. Yeah, that's the thing. One of those teams could go 0-6 in their division. I doubt it, but they have.
It's definitely a possibility.
because things just go the wrong way. I think all those games are going to be competitive. They're all going to be within 8 points, like it always is in the NFC West. I think honestly, if you don't have a team to cheer for in the NFL, just watch every NFC West game and you will be entertained.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're all. It's crazy. They all have a chance to win the NFC, which is ridiculous to say in one division, but it's low key true.
Hmm. And then the other contenders, you just have the Bucks. I mean, we'll see about the Panthers if they can get Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, that's a big if, but if we do retain him, we got to jump into that conversation.
Yeah, then you got Rodgers and the Bears maybe if they get Deshaun Watson. So that honestly, there's not many great teams other than the NFC West to compete with. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that plays out. Any news in the AFC? Big Ben restructuring his deal. Do you think he should have retired? I think he should have
Dude,
retired.
get Big Ben out of here. He's not even. He's not good anymore. He literally, I don't know. He just makes the team worse, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's too slow. He's old and not mobile anymore. And the league continues to shift every year. You gotta have a mobile court. Obviously, Brady won the Super Bowl this year, as I say that, and he's nothing far. He's not mobile, but the league shifted more mobile. Steelers, they have a lot of talent out there. If they had a quarterback who could move a little bit, I think they could do some damage.
Their receiving core was ridiculous, and I don't think they could reach their potential because Big Ben is just he's kind of there. He's just big lumberjack sitting there.
And I think he's holding back the running backs too, because they have to go out of shotgun a lot because his big ass can't get back there and give the running backs some momentum to get moving. So I think he's holding back the running backs games, their running back game, and that's big because you need to have balance.
Yeah,
they're in a good division too. The AFC North is probably the second best division in football.
Yeah, honestly, you got the Browns, Ravens, and the Bengals. They're on the come up. They have
Bengals are going to be competitive this year.
They've had some competitive games. Joe Burrow coming back from his injury. It's going to be a good division too.
Yeah, I don't see them in the same light by any means of the West, but no NFC West, but no one is. But I think the Bengals win 6 games, right, and then compete in 4 other games maybe.
I can see that happening. I mean, honestly, there's not too many bad rosters in the NFL in the entirety. There's just it gets a big drop off at the bottom, but there's a lot of competitive teams.
Yeah, and then Jacksonville, they're going to be good in a few years. They have a lot of money to spend, and they're going to get Trevor Lawrence. Maybe let's see what Urban Meyer can do. Maybe he'll do a little Pete Carroll action, win a ring quickly.
We'll see.
Who knows? In Saxonville, I don't know. It's going to be a tall task with Mahomes, Herbert, Lamarvelous.
There's a lot going on in there.
Josh Allen, yeah. The football's coming to a good age. Brady's going to leave. The monopoly's going to be over, and then it's going to be perfect competition.
Yeah, football's in a good state right now. There's a lot of good young quarterbacks. It's going to be fun to watch.
I think I'm very excited. Football is... Graham, what's your favorite sport to watch? I feel like you're an NBA guy.
Okay, yeah, I am an NBA guy, but I still get really into the NFL during the season. But I do follow the NBA a lot harder, but I'm still a huge NFL fan.
I breathe and live for Sundays. I love football. During the fall, I do all my homework Saturday, so I just watch football all day and not worry about it.
Yeah, when you're planning your homework around something, you're in love.
That's what I'm saying, man. Football's my first love. Anybody else? No. My mom, sister,
okay,
dad, and Roxy are my first love. Football's 1A.
Let's go.
Let's go. All right. So we kind of discussed free agency. Graham, is there anything else you want to add about NFL?
Not right now. I think it's going to start heating up once the draft gets a little closer. I mean, nothing really crazy is going on besides that. I mean, Chris Carson's not getting tagged.
What do you think about Aaron Jones not getting tagged?
Yeah, I mean, it's known in the NFL, running back, man. It's not a valuable position.
They get disrespected.
They get disrespected, but it's kind of shown that, you don't need an elite running back to win. So it's hard, It's hard.
And they have A.J. Dillon and that other dude,
Jamal
Charles,
Williams.
Right? Yeah, Jamal Williams.
Yeah, I mean, the Packers are fine, so...
They don't really need him.
They don't.
And they pass the ball all the time, too.
A team's going to pay Aaron Jones. He's going to find a spot, but yeah, you really don't need running backs, and it's surprising how their contracts keep going up. I mean...
Yeah, it was that whole, Le'Veon Bell thing.
Yeah,
it kind of hurt the running back, because, he tried to do something really sophisticated, and then it ended up...
And then they realized, oh, wait, these guys aren't really valuable.
Kind of weird. Yeah. So running backs, I mean, if you're watching this and you're about to have a kid, or if you have a kid who's about to start playing football, put him at QB. That's where the money is.
Yeah, 100%.
Or offensive lineman. The money's there too. They got to protect the quarterback.
You gotta have a big boy for that.
If you have a big boy, look at the genetics, man. Anybody that's over 6'6" and 320, man, that's an NFL player right there.
Yes, sir.
All right, so a very exciting time. We're probably gonna have a lot of shows to discuss this next topic in a short span because probably other than football, this is my second favorite thing that ever happens in sports, and that is March Madness. Graham, who and what are you looking forward to the most come next week in March Madness?
Man, first of all, we love March Madness here. We get to just watch it all day. Who cares about school? We're not focusing on our schoolwork now. We're focusing on March Madness. But listen, I think personally my team to watch is UConn. I think that they're gaining a lot of momentum. They just had one of their star players, James Bouknight. He is amazing. He scored 40 points early in the year. He got injured in the middle of the year. UConn went on a little rough patch. He's come back. UConn's looked really good. I think they could make a run. I really do. Also, Busy Bones and VCU. Come on now, they're in the A10 championship. I think right now they're in the tournament. Joe Lenardi has them in the tournament right now. That's the last four in.
Yeah. 11. Mm-hmm.
And I know we're gonna always talk about Busy Bones, but once he gets on national television and he has that first game, if he can effortlessly put up a 30-point game, ooh, I wouldn't want to be on the other side. That's all I'm saying.
You know what kind of vibes I'm getting from Busy Bones?
What vibe? Talk to me.
Davidson's in the A10 too, right?
Yeah.
Steph Curry went to Davidson too, right?
Yeah.
I think Busy Bones. I'm not comparing the players' games, but I'm comparing it to this. Steph Curry, people knew who he was before the March Madness in that one. But then, that's when he became the star. Mm-hmm. Steph Curry. He had like 3 30-point games, led Davidson to the Sweet 16. Davidson, not a great team. A lot of comparisons. A10, not like big, notoriously known team. VCU's in the tournament a lot, but if they can get to the Sweet 16 with Busy Bones leading them, oh man, his draft stock could go up real quickly. I saw Kendrick Perkins tweeted out Busy Bones the other day.
Yeah, he did. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. Big perk.
I saw a lot of people are saying if Busy Bones, whenever he decides to go to the NBA, he's going to be a stud. And he's long, he's a great shooter, and he's having fun.
Yeah,
I love Busy Bones.
When he's out there, he's definitely comfortable. He's definitely a natural scorer. And listen, March Madness, like you said, it's a way to get your draft stock up. We saw Wilmington, Delaware native Dante DiVincenzo get his draft stock up when he had that little Villanova run.
Ooh, so, great note.
So, Wilmington native Busy Bones, he might have to do a little Dante part 2, go crazy. I'm not saying they're going to win a championship, but he can definitely get his draft stock up by going crazy.
And then my favorite team, Loyola Chicago, they're going to be back this year. They won their conference. They're right now listed as an 8th seed. I mean, they played North Carolina game 1. That might be kind of tough, but
they're a great three-point shooting team. I think they're shooting like 46% from 3. I saw.
You talking about UNC or Loyola Chicago?
Loyola Chicago.
I know nothing about them. I just have a sweatshirt for them, but yeah, they're fine.
But no, trust me, they're a good three-point shooting team, and in March Madness, if that's clicking, you can blow teams out quick.
Mm-hmm. They also had this big center veteran who was on there, who was a freshman. I'm drawing a blank on his name, but he was a freshman when they made that one run with Sister Jean as the 11th seed and made it to the Final Four. He's back. He has that veteran presence. He knows what he's got to do down in the paint. Kick it out to those boys who can shoot the threes. Oh, man. Loyola Chicago.
Let's keep them on our radar.
Yeah, I think that's a big radar team. I think Boise State should be interesting if they can get in. I mean, how many times has Boise State in the tournament?
Man, I can probably count it on one hand, to be honest.
They're playing Texas Tech projected right now in the first round.
Oh,
Texas Tech is at
Matt McCullough. They're not getting past Texas Tech.
Yeah, but but you never know with March Madness. Graham, what's your favorite upset number to pick? You know how there's like that 11-6 matchup, that 12-7.
I usually pick 3 12 seeds.
Or 5-12. Go ahead.
I usually pick 3 12 seeds over the 5 seeds. Like, I think that's the most common, little underdog thing that happens. I think Notoriously, I think there's always been a 12 seed also that's a little undervalued and like it's better than a 12 seed and make a little run. So when I make my bracket, I go for the 12 seeds.
You're right. I always like the 10-7 matchup. Like listen to this one. Michigan State playing the Big Ten. They're right now a 10 seed, and Clemson the 7. I think Michigan State's gonna eat them up.
I mean,
quick.
Michigan State just beat Michigan. That was a big win for them. So
That's what I'm saying, dude. The Big Ten is the most dominating conference right now by far. They have Maryland, who's barely over 500, and they're probably going to be a top. They're probably going to be an automatic team, automatic qualifier, just because they're so good. Just because the Big Ten, they're going to have 10 teams in the tournament.
I don't know if they're gonna have 10 teams.
No, they're going to have 10 teams.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious.
That's a lot.
Right now, we'll go through it right now. They have Purdue. They have Purdue right now as a 4. That's 1. They have Maryland right now as a 10. They have Ohio State as a 2. Illinois as a 1. That's 4. All right, we're still going through.
Yep.
Rutgers as a 10. That's 5. We're still going through. Don't worry.
We're going.
Michigan State, Iowa. Michigan State as a 10. Iowa as a 2. That's 7. Michigan as a 1. That's 8. Wisconsin as a 7. That's 9. We have one more. Oh, that's it. They got 9. That's crazy.
No, that's still ridiculous. Having 9 teams for your conference make the 20. That's ridiculous.
That is absolutely nuts. Yeah, I don't know. So I'm looking forward to it. Graham, how often are we gonna have a show about March Madness?
Man, we might have to have one every round. You know what I'm saying?
It'll be quick, but yeah, I mean, how about this, Graham? I think this might be a good idea. To all our listeners, we probably have like 50 loyal listeners right now, like who just like who probably show that's cap. Probably like 20. Let's to all our listeners out here, let's do this. Let's make a In Rhythm Sports Podcast bracket. ESPN, send in $10 each.
Oh shit, we're going crazy.
And the winner gets all of it.
All right.
What do you think about that, Graham?
Listen, if you're still at this point and you're still listening, let's go.
I mean, you got 2 contestants right here. I'll throw in 10. Will you throw in 10, Graham?
I'll throw in 50. I'm not losing.
Oh, wow.
Nah, I'm kidding.
Oh, wow. I was about to say.
I don't got bread like that.
No, I don't think we actually don't get paid if you haven't figured that out yet. We didn't have a furlough for financial reasons. School just got a little crazy for the past week.
Yeah, so we might have to, it might be in pennies, but we got you.
We'll pay up. We'll be the distributors of the money. We'll hold it. We'll maybe put it in the stock market, gain some money. We'll do that. How about that?
Yeah, I like that thinking.
Stock market's been looking good the past couple of days after that dismal fall for like 4 days. What do you think? How are your stocks doing, Graham? You invest in stocks?
I have no stocks, Will.
Oh, you got to get in that stock market. It's fun,
I don't want to waste money on I have to educate myself before I dive in,
That's fair. And see, what I do is I just do like the safe accounts, like Apple. What else do I have? I have some Tesla. That's not as safe.
Well, did you buy the dip? Because I saw Apple and Tesla both dipped.
No, yeah, I bought Apple. I bought more Tesla during the dip, so that's good. A key to the stocks is when it goes down, you got to buy, because the price are going to be lower. It's always
Buy
going to come
low,
up.
sell high.
Exactly. I don't have too much money in the stock market, and I just try to talk back because it makes me sound more educated, But, you got to put it in. So if you're in the stocks, buy Tesla, go rogue, but don't buy stocks that have a lot of volatility. It's bad. Volatility.
If you want that, you can go to cryptocurrency. That's where the volatility is.
Yeah, we don't really do cryptocurrencies at the In Rhythm Sports Podcast. As you know, my partner doesn't have any stocks right now, but he wants to be educated first, which is what you should do.
Exactly. I can't just throw my money into what? Nike? What if LeBron James dies? That's their whole stock.
You speak nothing. You know what? Out of all the languages you could have chosen, Graham, you chose facts.
Yes, sir.
All right, so Graham, today is March 11th, 2021. What is your peak of the last week?
Okay.
The peak of the week.
Peak of the week. I thought you were going to say day. And I was like, listen, you got me up at 9 a.m. in the morning to do this. We ain't got no peak yet. But
wait, hold up. It's 12 o'clock right now.
Nah, I was kidding.
Oh, okay.
My peak, my peak of the week. I made $600. I'm not gonna get
Doing
into
what?
it. I'm not gonna get into it, but I made $600.
Whoa. Okay.
That's my peak. What's yours, Will?
I don't know. I'm a little concerned about how he said he made $600, but he's not gonna disclose any information. I mean, good for Graham, whatever
Come
it
on, can
is.
I get a clap?
Yeah. Well, I'll add that in there when you said that.
Okay.
I got an editing thing.
Now,
where
what's
I
your
can-
peak of the week, Will? Let's go.
Honestly, my peak of the week, I didn't make $600 or anything like that. But I'm gonna get sentimental here real quick.
Okay.
My mom made, or not made, she got her first vaccine shot yesterday.
Let's go.
So you know what? Kelly, my mom, Kelly Redunda, I love her. She's the best person ever. She is 18 days away from being immune from COVID-19.
We love you, Kelly. Always high spirited. We love the
Yeah.
energy you bring.
Yes, we love the energy she brings not only to me as her son, but to all of her students at Carcroft, WMS, and now Lombardi. You know, salute.
I'm glad you could get, vaccinated. That's big. That's big.
Me too. I hope that this. Let's talk about COVID real quick, Graham. Let's
Alright.
hope that it goes. Let's hope. I want it to go away. When do you think it's going to go away? When do you think? I saw Joe Biden said by May he hopes to have enough vaccines for everyone who every adult over the age of 16 who wants to get the vaccine can get the vaccine. Do you think that's wishful thinking, or do you think that's a realistic possibility?
I think it's wishful thinking, but I do think by the summer, hopefully end of summer, things will be better. I mean, I don't know if it's a little too early, but some states are already saying we're back to normal. I think that's too early. Like Texas, they going a little crazy. But I think states do want to get back to normalcy, so I think they are gonna work their fastest to get things back to that. So I think we're on the come up. That's what I'll say.
Right. I think a lot of countries are a little bit more collectivism, where they care, but not that we don't care about other people's well-being, but we want to make money. And when things are half open, it's harder to make as much money. So I think that there is a lot of ambition in this country to, get going. So I think once about 50% of the country's vaccinated, I think they're going to go full tilt in the majority of the states. Maybe not California or the coast of Washington, but we'll see.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's going to be good. Right now I saw that about 19% of our population is fully vaccinated, and 60 million, I think, have been administered the shot. Wait, hold up. We're not doing fake news out here. Let me look it up real quick.
That's really responsible, Will. I love that. Let's go.
Yes. COVID-19. How many people have been vaccinated in the United States? Have COVID vaccine in the U.S.? Okay. So fully vaccinated is 32.9 million, which is about 10% of the population is fully vaccinated.
Okay.
Now, this is according to our world data, and it was updated less than 2 days ago, so we're probably a little bit more than that right now. So, that's pretty good. Apparently, 95.7 million doses have been given. So that's pretty good, too. I mean, that's what I'm talking about.
Let's build some momentum. Let's get it to 200 mil. Let's go.
That's what I'm saying. So our population in America is 330 million. Graham, how many people do you think is actually going to get vaccinated? Who do you think, optionally?
Sheesh.
By the end of
Probably
the summer. Because, like you said, it's going to be accessible to everyone by the end of the summer. So how many do you think are going to be vaccinated by then?
probably like 180 mil. Hopefully.
180?
That's what I'm thinking.
I think that's fair.
Because
sure.
I think once it becomes more accessible, I think people also are gonna slow down a little in wanting to get it so much. If they know a lot of other people have it and they're already a little skeptical, maybe like, oh, I don't need it. But so I think 180 mil.
I think like you said, some people are going to play the long game. Maybe see how these people who got it earlier reacting to it. 'Cause there are some people who are skeptical just because of how fast the vaccine came to fruition. But they did put a lot of money into it, so it's got sped up. But I mean, yeah, confidence is everything when it comes to these things. But like you said, I mean, here's the point: only 50% of our country votes. So
Yeah.
So people aren't as civically responsible as maybe they should be. So I think you're right. I'm thinking about 180 to 210 million people are going to get the vaccine.
Beautiful. That's a good number.
Yeah, we're all about science and facts in this show. I mean, that's why we're in rhythm podcast because we're in rhythm with the facts. So even when we're not
100%
talking
better
about sports,
myself.
even when we're not gonna be talking sports, we're gonna lay into some facts about real life.
Yo.
Yes, sir. All right, Graham. It's 12:50. This episode's been around 45 minutes, I think. We'll see. That could look bad if not. But send us out.
Y'all know what's happening. Appreciate y'all for being here. Henry Ackroyd, we love y'all. We love you.
Facts. Heady God.
We love you. Peace.